Alright, so we're leaving. You know,
Suphan Buri.
so we're leaving Suphan Buri, leaving the Hotel Boutique Resort, and we're heading up into the mountains real close to the Burmese border. I know it's called Myanmar now, but it'll always be Burma to me.
Hey folks, and welcome back to our Travel Thailand 2021 series. You know, when you're on the road day after day, sometimes you forget where you are. You forget where you wake up, and that's what happened back there, momentarily anyway. But to be honest, I don't even know where I am right now as I explore some of these rural roads around our resort. But this day was definitely the highlight of our trip, and we made several stops and saw a lot of interesting places and end up at just a fabulous resort. So let's go back and enjoy the day. So welcome to the province of Kanchanaburi. Yeah, this is where we're going to be today, but this is only our first stop.
The famous bridge over the River Kwai. A little bit of a somber monument to all that went on here. I don't know what it was this morning on the way down here. I saw more dangerous driving, speeding than our whole trip. And we witnessed an accident, I'll show you. I don't know, Sunday morning, 8, 9 o'clock. I don't know what's going on. A lot of people only have off on Sundays and they try to make the most of it. I think there's a lot of people trying to get a jump on the day, speeding to wherever they're going. So, but it's pretty neat. And even on a Sunday morning, 9:30, a lot of folks out here, but nothing compared to what it normally would be. But we'll take a quick look around.
So yeah, just a brief stop there, but you can actually spend the day. Lots to do around there, museums and everything, but we're going to focus on this river, the river we're just crossing, which most of us call the River Kwai, but it really is known as the Kwai River. And we're heading for these hills up here, but we're going to follow the river, and that's where we're going to end up. All day, we will basically be on this river. So let's see how far we've made it.
So we're off the highway now. On our final approach, we're going up here by a cave, and our resort is beyond that. It's called the FloatHouse. You see behind me right here, it's going to look something like that, where it's basically a hotel built onto the river. But we're going to explore this up here around. There's a lot of little stuff. We just stopped at this temple and grabbed the view. We'll just take a look at whatever there is to look at. But this is our day today, and we're going to end up at the resort, which should be quite a night. There's not going to be anything around. It's probably only, I think at the closest point, we're going to be 10 or 12 miles from the Burmese border. It's all just kind of mountain and jungle back here. But a lot of good scenery, and we're going to enjoy an evening right on the river. We're basically following the Kwai, what we call the Kwai River, which is really, I think, called the Kwai River. But we're following the Kwai River all the way up and through the mountains, and that's where we're going to end up. So let's enjoy.
welcome to our next stop. This is actually a national park, and it's called the Lawa Cave. No, I said that right. It's not lava, Lawa Cave. And it's up a hill, 120 steep steps later. You get up here to the entrance of the cave, and we got a guide. We're not by ourselves. Luckily, we have a guide. So we'll go in. We'll make our way in. Now the first room is actually kind of a cool room. They've put a little bit of a floor in here, and they have a little Buddha prayer room type thing here. This is kind of where you start the tour of the cave, and it's not too intimidating. But then you get farther down into the cave, and you start getting deep into the bowels of the cave. It gets a little creepy. It's a little creepy, and you got these guys all over the place here. I don't know, maybe some of you guys that know about this stuff can tell me if these are vampire bats or not. Yeah, it seemed the farther we went down in the cave, the hotter it got, and the air quality, the humidity was just stifling. You could literally cut the air with a knife in here. That's how it felt. So it was slow going. It was slow, arduous going. I mean, we kind of got all winded walking up the steps to this thing. Then we took a little break, and we came in here, and it's hard to breathe because of the humidity. There's a certain musky, damp smell to it. But in case you're wondering, 100 for V, 300 for me. But I think it was worth it coming in here. I've never been in a cave this big, and we got a private guide. Nobody else on the tour but us. And luckily he has a flashlight. If you come, bring your own flashlight. That would be a wise choice. So I'm kind of glad to be out of there. It actually feels cooler and much more refreshing out here. But interesting story that I read. It was a guy out, a farmer out hunting. He shoots a porcupine one day. The porcupine was only wounded, and it couldn't find it. It ran into this cave. So that's how this cave was discovered, by chasing down a wounded porcupine. And after that, they put the guy in charge of the cave for the next 40 years, and it became a national park, and they've gussied it all up. But try to imagine what it must have been like for that guy going in there the first day chasing after the porcupine. But anyway, nice place to come, Lawa Cave, 300 meters from the resort. So let's go there and get checked in. I need a whole ensemble here. So this would be the main, I don't know, boulevard. This is the main thoroughfare that leads to our resort. Don't look for it on Google Street View. It will be unavailable. But here we are. This is it. We've just arrived. There's the parking lot, quite generous in space. And there's the resort, right there. So we have arrived. So, I mean, basically what you see when you get here is a dirt road and a couple signs. There's another resort and some of the local attractions. And then that's it. They got a little garden up there, and the only thing that separates us from getting to the resort are these stairs. Stairs? More stairs? We just did a bunch of stairs. Oh, that is good. Pineapple juice. A pineapple juice welcome drink and a welcome cool towel, which we really need after coming out of that cave. So those are the rooms, like little huts, floating huts, right on the river. And this river, it's got a current. I mean, it's not just a stagnant, slow-moving river. It's not rapids either, but it's quite a current here. So welcome to the FloatHouse, aptly named because the whole place is floating. on big pontoons, and it's tethered off with ropes to the shoreline. But we're all checked in right now. We're gonna go up to our room. I called it a hut. They're not huts. The grass thatched roof might make it look like huts, but they're more like cabanas. They're actually very, very high end. We paid tax and all in, includes breakfast, 3,600 baht for this. So over 100 US a night. That's probably what, 120 US per night. So not a cheap place. So we're gonna have a look around, but this is where we're gonna be tonight.
We got into the room and it's amazing. I'll show you around. Just everything's beautiful. It's a totally unique style. It's like something you've never seen. So even though it's floating, there's no sensation of being on the water in the room. But you come out here in this little raft thing on the deck, that gives you the sensation of kind of being on a boat. But this huge wraparound patio deck, and everything's got its own door. Shower has a door. You're almost like you're taking a shower outside. It has that feeling, but it's private. You've got door for the toilet, lovely little work area. Everything's arranged just perfectly for privacy, and that's your view. That's your experience. And you have a swimming area. We'll maybe go swimming, but kind of once you're here, you're here. This is where you're going to eat, do whatever you're going to do, your recreation. We're just going to relax. It's been a long trip, so this is our last day, or second to the last day, and the cave kind of wore us out. So we'll look around. I'll take you for a complete look around, and I think you'll love it. But I've been wanting to come here for months and months. The only reason I saw this was on Facebook. So give it a try. It's a long ride out here. But it's fun.
So we'll get all cleaned up and change and then start enjoying our resort experience here. I think the first order of business might be to head down to the kind of the busiest place on the ship here, the cafe or restaurant. And they have a pretty diverse menu because this is the only show in town. This is basically where you're going to have to take your meals. Breakfast will be complimentary in the morning. But as you can see, it is a diverse selection. Here's a fish and chips, and the food, I think, was reasonably priced. I don't think they gouged you for the food, but they had mostly Thai offerings. We'll get a whole bunch of stuff.
So we're starved. We're gonna get something to eat, but we ordered 4 dishes. We're hungry. Maybe we'll just have a big lunch. It's the middle of the day. Anyway, while we do that, I walked around. I'll give you a little tour. Beautiful, beautiful place. Really neat. So while we wait for the food to come, check it out.
So the food has arrived. There's V getting some fried rice there, and I think this is like a a chicken with some cashews, vegetables. We got a good spread here. But I got to tell you about this resort. It is a very good place just to chill out and relax. In fact, I would liken it to an island experience. Although this is no beach, it's nowhere near the sea. It's kind of that type of experience where you're at a set location. It's very relaxing. But I actually prefer this. I would actually prefer this to any of the islands I've been to, and I've been to quite a few. I've been to my share of them. I just like the vibe here. You're out in the wilderness. I would also maybe say it's tantamount to first-class camping. You kind of feel like you're camping. You're right out here on the river. You're in the wilderness. There's nothing around, but you have all these nice amenities. You got a big, thick, plush mattress, just a great night's sleep. You've got cafe with wonderful food and drink, recreation. So in that regard, it has the camping vibe without actually camping. Maybe it's more like I don't know, summer camp for adults or something like that. But I'll tell you what, next time I come here, I want to bring a fishing pole. The river is just teeming with fish, but there are plenty of things to do. There's even a spa here. Everything you want is here, just to have a day or two, whatever you're going to do. I would recommend coming during the week. I think weekdays are probably better than weekends, but it was also, I'll let you know, it was a mixture of Thai and foreign nationals that were staying here. So next time we will conclude this trip. We'll make it back home. Oh, and by the way, V gets bitten by a wild pig, so tune in for that, because I gotta go ahead and leave this one off right here. And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.